Long before European ships, America was home. Native peoples thrived for centuries. They had diverse cultures and complex societies. From the East Coast to the West Coast, tribes flourished. They lived in balance with nature. Their stories are vital to understanding America. European arrival disrupted this harmony. They sought land and resources. This marked the beginning of a clash of cultures. The consequences continue to this very day. Europeans came to America seeking new opportunities. Some sought religious freedom, others desired wealth and land. They established colonies along the East Coast. The first permanent English settlement was Jamestown in 1607. Colonists began to expand their territory. This expansion led to conflict with Native Americans. The colonists exploited resources and displaced native populations. This period laid the groundwork for future conflicts. By the 1700s, tensions grew between the colonies and Great Britain. The British government imposed a series of taxes and laws that the colonists found increasingly oppressive. Colonists protested unfair taxes like the Stamp Act. They organized boycotts and demonstrations, voicing their discontent loudly and clearly. They believed they lacked representation in British Parliament. The famous cry of "no taxation without representation" echoed through the colonies. This dissent ignited the American Revolution. Colonists formed militias and prepared to fight for their rights and freedoms. In 1776, the colonies declared independence from Great Britain. The Declaration of Independence was a bold statement of their intent. The Declaration of Independence proclaimed the ideals of liberty and equality. It was drafted by Thomas Jefferson and signed by many prominent leaders, including Benjamin Franklin. After years of war, the colonies secured their freedom. The decisive victory at Yorktown in 1781 marked the end of major fighting. They formed a new government based on democracy and individual rights. The Articles of Confederation were the first attempt, but they soon realized a stronger framework was needed. The United States of America was born. The U.S. Constitution, signed in 1787, established the foundation for the nation's government and laws. Section 4. A Nation Divided. The issue of slavery cast a long shadow over the young nation. It was a deeply entrenched institution that had been part of American society for centuries, creating a stark divide between the North and the South. The South relied heavily on enslaved labor for its economy, particularly in the production of cotton, which was a major export and the backbone of Southern wealth. While the North increasingly opposed this inhumane system, the industrialized North had moved away from agrarian economies and was becoming a hub for manufacturing and trade. In 1861, tensions erupted into the Civil War. The attack on Fort Sumter marked the beginning of a conflict that would last 4 long years. The Civil War was a brutal and bloody conflict. It saw brother fighting against brother and entire communities torn apart. The battles were fierce and the casualties were immense. It tested the very fabric of the nation. Families were divided and the country faced an existential crisis that threatened to tear it apart forever. After 4 years of fighting, the Union prevailed. Slavery was abolished, and the Emancipation Proclamation marked a significant turning point in American history. But the struggle for equality continued. The end of the war did not mean the end of racial injustice. It was merely the beginning of a long and arduous journey toward true freedom and equality. Reconstruction efforts aimed to rebuild the South, which had been devastated by the war. The physical and economic damage was immense, and the task of rebuilding was daunting. And integrate formerly enslaved people into society. The Freedmen's Bureau was established to help newly freed African Americans transition to a life of freedom, providing education, legal assistance, and support. Section 5. America on the world stage. The 20th century saw America's emergence as a global power. This period was marked by rapid industrial growth and significant economic expansion. Cities grew and the skyline of America began to change dramatically, symbolizing its newfound strength and influence. The United States played a pivotal role in both world wars. Its involvement was crucial in shaping the outcomes and redefining global power structures. American soldiers fought bravely on foreign soils, showcasing the nation's commitment to global peace and security. In World War I, it joined the Allies in fighting against Germany. The entry of the United States into the war provided a much-needed boost to the Allied forces, tipping the balance in their favor and leading to the eventual defeat of the Central Powers. In World War II, it aided in defeating Nazi Germany and Japan. The United States military and economic support were instrumental in the Allied victory, and iconic moments like the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima became symbols of American resilience and determination. After World War II, America became a superpower. The post-war era saw the United States taking on a leadership role in rebuilding war-torn Europe through initiatives like the Marshall Plan and establishing international institutions that would shape global governance for decades. It engaged in the Cold War with the Soviet Union, and also became a leader in international affairs. This period was characterized by a tense geopolitical rivalry, but also by significant advancements in science, technology, and diplomacy, as the U.S. sought to counter Soviet influence around the world. It used its influence to promote democracy and human rights. Through various diplomatic efforts, foreign aid programs, and international alliances, the United States worked to spread its values and support the development of democratic institutions worldwide. The U.S.A. faces new challenges in the 21st century, from addressing climate change and cybersecurity threats to navigating complex international relations and economic uncertainties. America continues to play a crucial role on the world stage, adapting to an ever-evolving global landscape.